I provoke the older women. I see that the problem of older women, they don't want to mentor the young one.
Yeah.
And all of you, you are annoyed. I just provoke them. Okay? I think, Christine, you are welcome. Yes. So we give you 10, or if you can finish before 10. Okay, yes.
It's afternoon.
Yes.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
My name is Adut-Executive, as he has already highlighted. I'm the Executive Director of South Sudan Women Empowerment Network, and also the Deputy Chair for the South Sudan Human Rights Defenders Network. Why do I add the South Sudan Human Rights Defenders Network? It's because we have a lot ongoing with our civil society, whereby we have a problem with the civic engagement space, and in most cases we find ourselves having issues, and we need that support system. I'm also the chair for the Child Rights Coalition in the country, an umbrella that is hosting 39 organizations, national NGOs, that are dealing with child rights issues in the country. That is from the 10 states and 3 administrative areas. Now, for me, it's an honor to be here, seated next to our honorable. She's also a mentor, because in this life, mentorship is about bringing you up. In this life, you are brought up. You don't come up by yourself. Each and every one of us has someone that brought them up. Just like your parents did, you also need that same bringing up by someone with relevance or someone you can relate to. And for me, it's an honor, because even she did not mention one of the things she did. As on her individual level, she advocated for the people with disability space in the country. And to me, I see that as something very passionable. You know, sometimes people say, I'm not disabled, why would I go and advocate for such a cause? But she did it because she really had the strength to do it, and she went ahead and achieved the objective. We believe that in our society today, we believe that when we look when we look upon the older generation, we feel we are decaying, we are left behind, and we are in a hurry to become westernized, which is not part of our culture. So we are coming back to the South Sudan context. So me, I would highlight what I see that is visible in our context of the country, in terms of the uniqueness and relevance to our perspectives of this country, and also for the young women. I'm happy that today the majority of the women here are young, and I believe they're also passionate in what they do, which is a good thing. We hope next time we can have such an occasion with more women from different walks of life. To me, I look at the digital natives driving advocacy. Unlike the old generation, the new generation, they are advanced in terms of digital space. You have the chance to learn about the AI, you have the chance to go online. Nowadays, you can even go to the computer and you can do something about your life and about yourself. You can even write books and they are published. The thing that is holding us back as Junubin is because of, could be that we are still reluctant, and then we have the mentality of, I am so and so's daughter, my dad will provide, which is the entitlement mentality. We have the laziness capacity also, which is not allowing us to really learn a lot and grasp it. Most of these things are just before our very own eyes. The world has gone digital, and we still have that space where we can go digital. To me, it's a unique and relevant perspective. The next is intersectional feminism. We have feminists. There are those extreme feminists. People always confuse the two. There is extreme feminism, whereby someone, even in her own household, she wants to impose the feminist abilities she has in her. She doesn't want to do anything. Like, we have to be equal. But at the end of the day, you will be equal. You as a woman, you're going to give birth. There's some things we do that men don't do. So if you say I'm going to be an extreme feminist, even in my own household, if I cook today, my husband should cook tomorrow. Then you should also entertain some of these things like giving birth that God has already ordained. I'm not trying to divert, but the reality of the matter is we need to know where we lie as feminists. So we have to be intersectional when it comes to feminism. The next I see that is unique is entrepreneurial activism. South Sudan is still a virgin land. We have a lot to offer. As a young person, you have a lot of opportunities to start an industry or start an entrepreneurship that no one has even crossed before and still get payment. You don't have to sell your body to gain, to buy clothes. Those days, our mothers were suffering. They only go to the ground, to the field, to harvest and also plant. If they don't do that, they don't eat. And that's why you see those days polygamy was something that was very relevant. Because the more children you have, the more food you have. And the less you're likely to starve the whole family and the whole generation. So basically, in today's society, we see that we have a lot of avenues that we can get revenue from. You don't have, as a young woman, to go and start pleasing people in the government or even to sweet talk someone in order to get money. You can still start with yourself. We've seen girls that are now doing hairdressing. We've seen women who are on the street selling tomatoes, selling okra. The only problem I see that with our current generation is that we want to remove someone from the streets of selling okra and put them in the salon. Yet she's already good at what she's doing. Why don't we support her where she is? So basically, to me, I see it is a unique and relevant perspective as far as the country is concerned, because when you have the entrepreneurship, entrepreneurial activism in you, you can even influence people on social media. We've seen young girls getting money through the social media, broadcasting. We have the current challenges that I would like to address, which is number 2, that Manyang had requested. The first is westernization. And in our country, as a country, South Sudan, you don't bring things from the West and bring them to here and expect them to work. One of them is the dress code. Yeah, we understand that people are having mindsets whereby if you're putting on a miniskirt, you're prone to rape and also domestic violence and maybe abuse somewhere. But we have an issue whereby some of our Gen Z parents nowadays, someone is 25 and she has given birth to a child and is dressing the baby in a way that attracts attention. You take the kid to the salon, the hairstyle is not even for her age. So we want to westernize everything for people to know that you have gone somewhere, which is not relevant. So kindly, in our own perspective, let's also try to get back and see where we come from as a country and not rush into westernization. Take what is important and leave what is not. Let's read more, let's learn more, let's relearn and learn, and we shall be able to establish a greater nation. The next is limited access to decision space. Each and every one of you here has a problem when it comes to decision making. You're only told when it's already too late and you cannot do anything about it. You can't change. Whether it's in the national government, whether it's in the state government, whether it's in the offices you work for, you don't have space to put in your decision. And to me, it's a challenge because sometimes we have seen in South Sudan here, old age is not wisdom. People can be old and foolish.
Yeah.
And even education, to some point, I've realized in this country does not mean that you're wise. Some people are educated, but they have the papers, but they don't have the characters. They don't have the capacity to show that their papers are backing them up. You see someone who is taller is more better than someone who is 60. You see? So for me, I see the fact that they're not consulting you, even in things. Nowadays people say, nothing for the youth without the youth. Nothing for the people with disabilities without them. So this notion should continue to carry forward. We've seen the youth requesting for their quota to be given to them, which is yet to be unfolded. But the youth who are requesting for the quota want to be given freely. They don't want to work hard for it. You see the point? So to me, I see it's a limitation in decision making that is making some of us lag behind as the youth. And even in South Sudan, it's good Honorable Mayor Bai is here, and Tel Manyang also, and some of these people that I know. In South Sudan here, we don't even know the youth limit. Someone can be 39 and is the youth. Someone is 40 is the youth. You find a youth leader who is 45. So you wonder, why are you taking over the space of the youth? They look youth maybe in the body, but their face shows that they are not. So it's a problem. We have the issue of tokenism and silencing. Someone is so desperate. Some of us come from poor backgrounds whereby you go to speak and you're given a small token and you're told to shut up with all your ability and all your brain, and then they tell you to be silent about an issue you have seen. We've had the issue of Sherikat. It was really very traumatizing for the families. But because someone may have seen it before, but because they were given something to keep quiet, they decided to keep quiet. And the victim also kept quiet for 1 week. By the time this issue came out, it was already 1 week. And you know, for this PEP to be administered, it has to be 72 hours. So people keep silent on some things. They just decide to gossip. But if they had brought it on board, it would have saved the situation. And after that, 4 days later, I think that's when the issue of Cor William came about. So we need to be each sister's keepers. When you say something, don't wait to be paid in order to be silenced. So tokenism and silencing has become an issue. Even when you want to talk about your personal rights, you're told keep quiet, shh, you're not supposed to talk. And this is an issue for me. We have burnout and mental health issues. People think For you to have a mental health issue, you must be married, old, pass through a lot of problems. Even people who come from rich families are having mental issues. We have an experienced burnout of people who are trying to juggle between education, their personal life, and also the morale of the society. Someone has been defiled maybe 10 years ago, you are 20 years old, and they are still haunting you by the village people. So it can be a problem of mental health. It can affect you mentally. How can we be able to support our dear sisters who are going through that? And you know, with our generation nowadays, it's very hard for you to confide in a sister and she keeps quiet. She wants to make it news. Young ladies, are we paying attention?
Yeah.
Yes. You have friends that you tell your problems when you're in need. That's why it's very important. Get a mentor. When you have a problem, you have one person's number that you can dial. Because I know when problems come, you will feel overwhelmed and you will want to rush to tell someone about it. God forbid that your person that you're telling to is someone you just met yesterday, or someone who is envying you indirectly. Then your problem is going to blow up on the social media and you're going to be everywhere. And this is the problem we have right now. We have economic and structural barriers, which I will not talk much about because we all know how the country is going and being run. We have also fragmentation, whereby the girls with the good hair, the ones that go expensive salons or $50 plus, they move together. Then we have the youth that are struggling, the ones that put on the same sandal for a month, they move together. Then the ones that are high-end, who fly with planes from one country to another, they move together. Why don't you all come together with different and stop fragmenting yourselves? You see? Let's avoid the fragmentation part, which is hard. For me, I see it's a challenge. Because if you cannot mix, there are some people whose parents actually in the current national government, and they are okay. They don't even know that there are some people starving on the streets. They don't even know how it feels like to sleep without food. Because why? They are fragmented. They are there. They don't mingle and mix with the poor. We have the poor, the middle income earners, and then we have the rich in this country. We have an issue of peer influence and bandwagon. Sometimes we see ourselves moving with friends, copycats. Because so-and-so has plaited this hair, even me, I want. So-and-so has done this, even me, I want. But when your friend is in trouble, I don't know why they don't copy each other. Which is a problem. And to me, peer influence has to be stopped at all costs. And I think it's something that we can do as youth. Then excitement to growing. We get excited. Maybe you have gotten a little knowledge over something. Then you get excited. You go on social media. You want to blow up. That's how the enemy comes. And then later on, you're out of hand. You cannot be helped mentally. You cannot be helped psychologically. And things are running out. So it's always good to have mentors. Because in this case, when you rise to fame, unintentionally, a mentor can be able to sit you down and help you, groom you to another level. So the excitement phase is always falling apart. Because whatever you do as a youth, later as you grow in your political career will be used against you. And this is what's happening. You post something very funny on social media, people take clips of that and keep it. For you, you will not know. A time comes when you wanted some political position or you want to campaign for something, a guild president in the university, and people bring it up. You've seen that young girl who was raped. Where were those photos? Who was keeping them? So it's really a problem. We have opportunities for systematic change. The first is youth-led movements. This is something that is just upcoming. We've seen the Gen Zs in Kenya. When they don't want something, they go on the streets and they campaign. I'm also happy that even with the universities nowadays, people are doing cleaning and all that. The youth movements are moving up and down. People are cleaning up the streets. Because I believe the South Sudan problem is not city council. People are always attacking city council. Why is the place dirty? But the people themselves of the nation are the problem. The dirtiness is in the people's mentalities. City council will come and clean today, even if they clean for years. But the mentality of our citizens is not put right. We shall continue to blame the government and city council. Yet someone will wake up in the middle of the night and put the rubbish in the middle of the road, even with the V8. So it's a problem. We have the policy windows in global framework, the SDGs, Agenda 2030. We've already been told about the United Nations Security Council Resolution 1325, which is the women, peace and security, and then for the youth, peace and security. These are policies that are going to shape the nation because it is going nationwide. So there's no way as a country you can avoid it. South Sudan basically has to go into it. We have the rise in women-led technology platforms. like the tech-driven. We've seen women, even in the University of Juba. It's good that there are women rising to do things that men can do. Dominated main spaces, women are now leading. Next is for me to go into action-oriented recommendations for promoting intergenerational dialogue. The first is institutionalized intergenerational mentorship program. In the different sectors in the university, it's very important for us to have this intergenerational dialogue in different institutions. Whether in the secondary schools, even the university, we have to have them so that the old are phased out. But in South Sudan, the gap between the old and the young generation is too wide. So there is need for us to close it up. Because when they die with their wisdom. And then for us, we are left to grumble. We have shared leadership models, like the way you have seen Honorable Mary Apai. For us to go to her office, we have to go through 2 different offices. And imagine she's just seated here. And some of you will go even without sharing her number, or even getting to know her physically, or anything like that, which is very bad. So we have role models in the country, and we need to take advantage of that. Then we have fund intergenerational initiatives. Most organizations nowadays, especially the international NGOs, are having funds that are supporting intergenerational initiatives. For example, SSWEN in the next 1 month, we are going to advertise for training of women, of male-dominated initiatives. So these are roles that are known for men, like plumbing, like electricity, like building, and we need women to come on board and do these things. So in most cases, these are things that we need to fund them so that at least the ones they find there already are really supporting them and helping them. We have to bridge the policy and grassroots generations. We don't only stop in Juba, we go to the grassroots. So when you come here as a youth, you also learn something and tell your peers in the grassroots and support them. We have to send a mutual respect and learning. Sometimes they tell you